Hey everybody, I figured out how to do YouTube Live, so I'm pretty excited about that. I just thought I had somebody that forgot we had an appointment today, so I thought I might as well talk to you guys instead. So you can see my Amanda Ellis sprays behind me. This is where I sit when when I'm talking to people on the phone for sessions. And I'm waiting to see if somebody is going to show up to ask me a question or something. So I did want to talk a little bit about Doreen Virtue, just because I grew up in the fundamentalist Christian movement. So I feel like I can speak to that pretty well. I really I didn't know her at all, like, during the period when she was becoming popular and her cards were coming out. That really wasn't part of my world at all. I'll just say that when I never really resonated so much with her, didn't dislike her, but just didn't really pay a whole lot of attention. But I just, when I've seen, like, since she's had a change of beliefs, I noticed that she just seems so sad. And I understand that she feels very sad. And I have so much compassion for her because she literally believes every single day of her life, she thinks that she did things to open up people to darkness and to Satan, and that she is causing them to be misled. And so I totally understand why she does what she does, because she feels like now it's her duty to save all of the people that she misled. So I get that, and I don't have any judgment against her. And I really don't. I didn't read what she wrote. I don't listen to what she says, because what's the point of that? I think we all know where she stands. So it's just like anything else. She doesn't believe in the same way that I do, and so I don't pay much attention to it. But I do feel a lot of compassion for her, because she lives every day thinking that she sent people to hell. And, that must be quite a heavy burden to bear. So, it's just like anything else. When something triggers us, it doesn't matter who it is or what they've done. It's always something about us. Always. It doesn't matter who it is or what they say. That's probably why it doesn't trigger me. I've done all of that work about being judgmental and thinking that I'm going to go to hell for doing this or that. So yeah, it doesn't really bother me. I don't pay much attention to it, but I just feel like we should all really be sending her love. And, I'm sure a lot of you, she helped you out with the cards. And, when you were really into, I know she used to be much more popular. Like I said, I wasn't really part of that, but I just really feel for her. And I know that she sincerely believes what she's saying. So yeah. Did you guys have any questions for me? I don't know how to read what you guys are writing. Anyway, also today, I'm going to just share a couple of miracles that I had during the past week. So we needed to be plowed out on Monday. We were snowed in, and the plow had come really early in the morning. And then he sent me a text about 8 o'clock and said that he had to go into work and he wasn't going to be able to plow the driveway. So, I mean, I wasn't, really eager to go anywhere, but I did need to run some errands just to get ready for this really cold week that we're having. So he set me up with a friend of his that was going to come over to plow. And the guy told me all of the places that he needed to be before he got to my house. So I knew it was going to be a while, but the day was pretty much gone. And, or we were way past time when he was supposed to come over. And so I was really, thinking like, okay, I'm just not gonna be able to go anywhere. How am I gonna get the driveway plowed? And I looked outside and the driveway was plowed. And I went to the front door and I opened it, and there was a man in a pickup truck across the street. And I yelled to him, "Oh, do you want me to write you a check?" And he said, "No, it's okay. I used to live here." So, yeah, he had just been in the neighborhood and visiting his mother, and he was about to go back to his house and was getting like pretty close to getting on the highway and decided to turn back around and come back and take a peek at his old house, which just so happened to be my house. And we're about the same age. He grew up in this house. And so he came by and he plowed the driveway for me. And then so I invited him into the house and we walked. As we were walking through the house, he was telling me, all of his experiences with Jesus and with the angels. He goes to church and we don't, everything isn't exactly the same between us, but, I explained to him that I worked with the Holy Spirit. And before he left, he had an attunement from the Holy Spirit or Metatron. So that was pretty cool. So anyway, his name was Paul. That was the first miracle that happened this week. And today I woke up and I noticed, like, as I was waking up, I thought it's really cold. But I mean, it is 50 degrees below zero outside. So I get that it's cold. But I walked by the thermostat a couple hours later and the thermostat was dropping, even though I hadn't done anything to it. So I was like, oh no, this is not okay. So anyway, I was calling a bunch of people. Of course, all of the people that work on heating units were busy today. And so I saw this. I was just going through the list of names, and it's hard if you don't know who to call for repairs. I'm always just like, okay, creator, please help me find someone that isn't going to completely rip me off. So anyway, I saw the name Paul's Heating, and I thought, like, okay, I'm gonna try that one. And so the guy came over, and he came over really fast. Actually, I was shocked at how quickly he got here because it's pretty cold in the house right now. So anyway, he came over and he went down and looked at the furnace, and he was like, "Oh, that's I don't know. It's some part. I don't remember what it's called, you guys. I think it was called the board." And so he said that because of the age and the model of the furnace, he's like, "I don't know how you're going to find this anywhere." And he said, I can check in my truck, but I'm just about positive that I don't have one. So I was just like, oh, creator, please. And so anyway, he went out to his truck and he came back in and he was like, "I cannot believe that I have this part in my truck." And I was like, "Oh, that's because I work with the angels." And so then we started talking, and it turns out that he invented some kind of diffuser that you can attach to your heating and cooling systems that will send essential oils through the house. So, I mean, that's pretty amazing. So he's got it, he's just coming out with it. He just got the, I don't know, prototype done. And yeah, it's his own invention. So that's really cool. But yeah, so those were my two miracles this week for the plowing and the furnace figure being fixed. I'm trying to figure out, you guys, it doesn't show. I hope that you guys aren't asking me questions and I'm just not seeing them because I don't know how to make that happen. There's like nothing on my, no. I don't know how to see where you guys are asking me questions, which is the whole point of doing a YouTube live. This is why my tech guy moved, like 4 hours away. I texted him a few minutes ago and I was like, "I wish you were here to help me." So anyway, so what else can we talk about now, Metatron, since okay, so Metatron is talking about a lot of people feeling a bit lost right now because they are hearing, Amanda and I both talk about, what our plans for the future and planning what that big thing is that you're going to do. And a lot of people are feeling like they're, not hitting the mark, or they're somehow falling behind because they haven't come to what it is. They haven't found exactly what it is that they'd like to do or that they're passionate about. And the truth is about that, whenever messages come in that you feel like don't apply to you, they just don't apply to you. If you're happy and content with the way your life is going, first of all, you can never be doing the wrong thing and you can never miss out on something. It's just not possible for that to happen. So you're always in the right place and you're always doing exactly what you're meant to do. If you're feeling discontent, then there obviously there's something to look at. If you feel like there is something that you're meant to do and you're just not getting there, that's a different story. But then he's saying always going within and looking and deciding what it is that you're passionate about and where you want to point your arrow. That's the answer to that question. It's whatever you choose to do is the right thing to do. Don't feel like you're falling behind or you're not measuring up or, something is out of sync because you don't have this grand plan set up. That might not be the way that it's going to be for you. That just might not be your thing. I think I'm going to just pull cards. Yeah, somebody, in case you weren't here when I first started talking, I have my microphone here. This is where I sit when I do, when I work on clients during sessions. So I'm going to shuffle on air. I wish I could see your questions, you guys, but what the screen that I'm looking at, it's me and then it's just black. There's nothing showing. Like I can see how many people are here, but I can't see any questions. So I really hope that you guys aren't. I hope that we can figure out for next time how you guys can ask me questions. So hang on. So, all right, let's see. Metatron saying, I know how much you like to do things off the cuff. He's teasing me. Oh, yes. It is all about trust, isn't it? Oh, Metatron. Okay, this is a good one. Let's see. We've got the Phoenix. Nice. How many? I know everybody pulls differently. This is the way that I do it. We kind of came up with our own system. That's pretty much what I've done with everything. I've gotten stuff just directly from Metatron. I prefer it that way. I mean, I have learned a lot of things from other teachers, but a lot of it's been just direct. So after the Phoenix, we have the Spirit Whisperer. And after that, the Eyes of Beauty. And the bottom card is the Lady of Lightning. All right, so let's see. So this is Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. And I am reading, the first card is the Phoenix. The Phoenix appears, I just bought these cards, so I'm not very familiar with them. The Phoenix appears as your ally to celebrate your journey and to ensure your ultimate success. This is true even if it appears that you've just passed through a metaphorical experience of death or are currently enduring a perception of failure in your life. Death and rebirth are related when you enter the realm of the Phoenix. See in this light, nothing truly dies, but rather changes from one ending directly into new beginnings. The Phoenix is constantly reinventing itself and rises up whole and new and even more powerful with every death it experiences. This could signal an end of a relationship or of a dynamic within one, or an end of a job, a project, or even a life. Perhaps no failure is involved because failure is an illusion. But it's time for a complete overhaul of your circumstances. You may be tired of what you're doing or you may know intuitively that it's time to move on and try something new. Whatever the case, the death of the old and a celebration of new life are called for. Whatever you do now will indeed be a successful endeavor, for rebirth is imminent. So yeah, that's a lot of what we're talking about with these eclipses, that they were about endings and beginnings. That tower energy that we have, that we're feeling all year as Saturn moves up to Pluto and the South Node is coming over to Pluto and then Saturn. So Phoenix. And then again, Spirit Whisperer. As an ally, the Spirit Whisperer comes to you heralding the miraculous and the inspired. She whispers guidance from the divine through your higher senses so that you can hear her wisdom and know her love for you. She is committed to helping you intuit the next right action and steers you away from trouble. The Spirit Whisperer keeps you inspired to move forward, always knowing just in time the correct next step. She guides you to fulfill your highest purpose. When she appears, it's a sign of inspired ideas that with continual action lead to success. That's a very good omen. If your question is about a relationship, the Spirit Whisperer speaks of soul connections, past lives, and great learning through mutual mirroring. She will whisper how long, how short, how deep, and how sweet the relationship can be. There were soul bargains made even before you both were born here, and an exploration is in order. You may move forward, but keep listening to the Spirit Whisperer for the lessons that the vulnerability of love brings. Okay, very interesting. So we've talked a lot about endings of relationships, and that was pretty much, we've been in that energy really like for more than a year now. For sure, the astrological year has been about endings in relationships where you're unsatisfied, discontent, not being shown what you're truly worth and what your true value is, or just feeling unfulfilled, bored. Hang on. Oh my gosh. I didn't really cough while I was sick, but since I've gotten better, I quit smoking like so long ago. And I was just saying to people a few weeks ago, it's so strange how I never coughed when I quit smoking. So I don't know, maybe that's it. Who knows? Yeah. So, people say a lot of times in readings, or, when I'm doing healing sessions with them, I never should have married that person, or I wasn't supposed to marry that person. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. The illusion is that the agreements that we've planned to carry out together, it's like I always say, we come in, we're our higher selves. We come in, we put on the DNA suit, and we start living out our agreements with our parents first and foremost. And we're like, wait, who am I again? We completely forget because of the illusion and the agreements that we're living out. So this is speaking, whatever relationship you're in, whatever relationship that you've been through in the past, those were all divine as well. And it's one of my pet peeves when people talk about a karmic relationship. You can't have one that's not. You can't. It's not possible. All relationships are karmic. Now, the lessons could be, they could be harsh lessons. They could be kind lessons. So, but this sounds like the relationship that we're talking about here is, or just whatever your Metatron is saying, whatever new path you're exploring to, not just new relationship, but that this is being divinely guided and just to trust and go with the flow and just allow things to come in their divine timing, and to keep watching for signs and signals. They'll always give you, pretty obvious too. And you can ask always for specific signs and signals. If you're having a question about this kind of stuff. Like I talked to someone yesterday, and she had been emailing me back when she was getting married. I think it was a retrograde, and she was worried about it. And, she said that, and I couldn't fit her in. And she said that she got a lot of signs herself before they went through with the marriage. It was an awesome story, by the way. someone who, they'd known each other in college. And I mean, I want to say like 40 years went by before he actually hired someone to find her. And so now they're married. So I thought that was a great story. And then the next card that we have is the Eyes of Beauty. Okay. My daughter's home. You might be able to hear Shrek playing in the background. All right. When the eyes of beauty show up as your ally, they require you to examine your perceptions. Do you see the world as perfect and beautiful? Can you retrace your steps from your past now and see the perfection in the way reality has been created? Truly, perception is everything. A glass half empty is the same as a glass half full, yet so different according to how it's perceived. The eyes of beauty remind you that if you move forward with conviction, all is well now and always will be. You will see true prosperity as a result. Expect to see beauty and you will attract your highest good. So that's so true. I mean, I was having one of those a few days ago where I don't even remember what it was that triggered it. And I think it was one of those days when the moon hits my Pluto. Yeah. And I have to be really careful on those days. And I felt myself going like, like I just went all the way down. Because that's the thing with this Jupiter Neptune square that we're in all year. It's like a vortex. And so your thoughts, and like if you're starting to be like, oh, look at this happened and this happened and this happened, then that'll keep going. It'll just, it's like planting a seed is what he's saying, that your thoughts are generating your reality. You're creating your reality with your thoughts. So really be careful how you're talking to yourself these days. And just what we were talking about with past relationships. And, that was a relationship I shouldn't have had when, yeah, you should have had it or you wouldn't have had it. But when it's seeing all of that is perfect and the way that things worked out is perfect. My ex-husband and I, like we had our, obviously we're exes. So we had our stuff. We're really good friends now. He's like probably my closest family member. I consider him a family member. And, now I see that it was all perfect. And there was a lot of not good stuff in there, but now I get it because, the things that happened and the way that when you want to jump up and down and scream, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's most likely something where it's coming back to you in that way to balance things. So it's really just forgiving yourself for whatever that situation was. Probably what happened to you is what you did to someone. And just seeing that, forgiving yourself and being like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then just moving forward and forgiving yourself and forgiving that person and letting that resentment to go so that it's not something that's disruptive in your path or disrupting your energy or in any way. Release your expectations and demands and be with the truth of the way things are now. You're whole and beautiful and perfect. And what you observe is as well. It may not be exactly what you want, but perhaps in shifting your vision, you will find clarity and will see that it's exactly what you need at this time. A total shift in perception is what is required now. And, I put up a post on Facebook the other day about do not be dismayed by the brokenness of this world. All things break and all things can be mended, not with time, but with intention. And, so go now into the world and shine your light in the darkness, or I can't remember the exact words, but I love that quote. Really going through Facebook is just, it's really not easy. There's so many, I'm glad that the shutdown is over, but we had, so many people going without food and working. That's what really was, and just, we could sit here and go over all the stuff that's shitty all day long. But really, and I said this in the End of Corruption video too, recognizing that things may get darker before they get better. And that's not just in relation to the United States. That's really just in relation to everything that's happening right now. But seeing that it's always perfect and in divine order, and appreciating things for what they are, and being able to rise above that vibration and see the joy in life and the happiness and the like, just feeling hope for the future. That's a way that we really minister to the collective, is by doing that right now, because it's not so light and bright right now. And then we've got the Lady of Lightning. And I was saying this is a new deck, so not familiar with these cards, but this is Colette Baron Reed, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. As an ally, the Lady of Lightning brings powerful forces of change into your life. She tells you to expect a sudden shift in your circumstances. Perhaps a situation you weren't anticipating arises and offers you the opportunity of a lifetime, or a series of aha moments culminates in a pivotal flash of insight, causing everything to change just like that. Maybe someone enters your life and pushes you to new heights. You may have a brilliant idea that hits you like lightning. Be prepared. Change is imminent, and a total paradigm shift may be upon you. Don't resist the changes, as this kind of lightning is something you want to fight. Great things are happening when the Lady of Lightning appears. And that's interesting, because Uranus is electricity, and like lightning tornado is, I say a lightning within the tornado is Uranus. But so let's see. In the realm of Lady Lightning, it's prudent to engage the law of non-resistance. Relax and wait out the storm in the shelter of your faith and goodwill, trusting all will be well, even if it doesn't seem like it in the moment. Wonderful new life has an opportunity to grow when the storm passes. The Lady of Lightning would much prefer to be your ally. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, with all of this, the Phoenix rising from the ashes, it was the first card. If you missed it, you can go back and watch again. Excuse me. But the Phoenix, death and transformation, the Phoenix rises from the ashes. Okay. So, and we've been talking about this for a long time, that tower energy that we're in. And so if you haven't had that tower moment yet, we're still working up to that tower moment. I'm just going to mention, because I remembered when I was reading that card, so I assume that it's okay. So Metatron showed me, and I want to say again, it was about like close to end of February, that I saw a great shift happening. I'll just tell you that I saw a very large dust cloud, all I saw was dirt. I didn't see fire. I didn't see water, but it looked really like earth shifting. So I said to him, is this earth changes? Is it a physical earth change? And he said it's a great shift. He didn't say yes or no. So, but you know how when things play out metaphysically, they play out physically. Like when things happen etherically, then they are happening in the physical. Like someone said to me that they were sick, and they were like, I think it's energetic. It's never not energetic when you're physically sick. Every time there's a physical symptom in the body, there's something in an imbalance, and your body is letting you know, that alerting you to the fact that there's something going on that way. But with the energies and the way that they are right now, with a lot of the tower energy in play, there is going to be shifts, and we know that that's going to happen geophysically too. Now, I'm not saying, and this is why, one of the reasons why he didn't say, yes, it's happening at the end of February, because it could just very well that there's nothing that happens physically on the earth in February. It could be February 6 years from now. And so I want to make sure that I'm being clear about that. But at any rate, he was talking about a great shift. It just looked like a huge dirt cloud, huge, almost. Well, I don't really want to say that, but if two pieces of earth came together and there was something like that caused, like something, but I didn't see any fire. I didn't see any water. So, yeah, some kind of a big shift that we're all getting ready for. So, okay. So the Phoenix, the Eyes of Beauty, the Spirit Whisper, the Lady of Lightning these are great cards. And, really, you guys, the veil is so thin right now. Very easy for anybody to, be able to discern spirit speaking to them, your angels, your guides, Archangel Metatron, or if you prefer the Holy Spirit or Jesus, really, taking time, 5 minutes a day, set your timer for 5 minutes and just do deep breathing in and out. And that's a good way to start meditating and get into the practice of meditating and being able to hear and talk to them. And so, yeah. I wish I could read your questions. I cannot see anything except me and a black screen. So I will try to figure out what that's about. But anyway, everybody, I'm glad that I had some extra time today to talk to all of you. And I need to get back to client sessions pretty quick here. But love you guys. Take care of yourselves, or stay warm. And if you're in Australia, stay cool. Thinking about all of you guys. Love you. Bye-bye.